All right, so I wanted to do a video on this Sweet Sweat product and line of products. It came to my attention again recently, even though I've heard about this at the gym and from a friend of my wife was using this type of product. And I noticed that this is, at least the actual band itself is rated number 6 on the Amazon bestsellers. So this thing's selling a lot. So I just wanted to add a couple of little areas of thought to kind of think about. I'm in no way trying to knock this company or people that use the product. If anything, if you're using any product, I don't care what it is, and it's getting you to move or do a little bit more physically active or eat better or whatever, that's a win in my opinion. That's worth the money. So that's just something I'll say that off the bat. So I'm not trying to judge people that do use this stuff or whatever. You can already kind of see where I'm going with this, but I'm making this video to kind of help people and get people to kind of think a little bit differently if they're not already knowing about this stuff versus just buying something and thinking that it's some sort of sensationalized product that will help you essentially zap, in this case, belly fat, or just burn more fat by making yourself sweat more. Okay, so that's the reason I'm making this video. And to say that you can look at this is it's selling a lot. Okay, so it's got 6,000 reviews, and for most people, if you see something like this, you're like, well, it must be a good product. It's fairly affordable. It looks pretty good. What is the claim behind this product or products like it? It's whether it's intentionally or not intentional. I think it's kind of intentional if you're just looking at it, right? But people argue, well, that's not why I'm buying it. But let's look at the intent. What are we led to believe? If you gave someone this to a perfect stranger, what are they led to believe? They're led to believe that this is some sort of stomach wrap that you wrap around your stomach that will trim your waist trimmer, that somehow putting something around your waist and working out with it, or maybe even not working out with it, I don't know, will help you burn targeted belly fat. Okay, or at the very least make you sweat in your stomach. And why else would you want to sweat in your stomach unless you're thinking it's going to do something, in this case, make your stomach smaller or whatever. And so it's kind of a gimmick. Right off the bat, I'm going to say that in no way this is under the idea of spot reduction. You can't, a couple things, this product line of products, and I'll talk about the oils here in a second. What this product really is kind of telling you is that spot reduction is real. You have to throw that out the window. Anyone who has any ethics, I shouldn't say ethics, maybe some people generally don't know this, but any background in exercise science or exercise physiology or whatever will tell you right off the bat, the very first thing they're kind of taught is spot reduction does not exist. You can spot enhance, you cannot spot reduce. Okay, so this idea of putting something around the targeted area to make it get smaller is, it's kind of genius, but it works all the time because intuitively we would think it would work, but it doesn't. I'm just going to say, I can go on a whole tangent about this, but spot reduction does not work. It's not how the body works. There's tons of old exercise gimmicks that are out there, right, that were all based upon, like shaking something or like little vibrations or just wearing something like a tight corset, and that would help you essentially spot reduce just by putting a corset on. All sorts of things that target certain areas that honestly these things still resell to this day. There's variations, and that's kind of what this is. This is along the lines of like spot reduction and sweating type stuff. Sweating suits like sauna suits have been around for a long time. I'll get to this. If you really wanted to sweat, which I wouldn't recommend trying to sweat out stuff anyways, unless for like a certain small segment of the population for like a certain amount of time maybe, but sauna suits probably better in my opinion. Even this product, air shorts. Okay, so some sort of, gives support. What does it say? Great for exercise and shedding body moisture. Okay, so a lot of crazy things. I'm not going to say, I'll say it. This is along the same lines as that, basically. This is a modern day version of that because it doesn't work. And just because something is selling a lot and people are swearing by it does not mean that it's proof that it works. There's plenty of examples of this. In fact, majority of examples of products, physical or supplements so physical, that basically people claim is working wonders and they find out it doesn't do anything. All of a sudden, those claims go away. And there's a lot of reasons why things work. One of the big points I always point to is these power balance bands. They're still being sold even though they had a huge lawsuit. Some of you guys know what they are, but basically they're just little like magnets that go on your bracelets, and you can wear them as necklaces, and athletes wore them. It was a multi-million-dollar company, and the claims were you could be stronger, more flexible, it'd improve injury. I knew a guy who at the gym swore to me that he put this band on and years of shoulder pain just went away. So the power of the mind is pretty crazy. Even though we know that there was nothing special about this. All right, so I'm just going to say that. And the sad thing is, a lot of these gimmicks take away from your own progress, right? Because people start, whether it's a supplement or a special diet or anything fitness related, if you start exercising, if you start like being healthy, whatever that means, and diet and exercise, and you start picking up a product along with it, people tend to associate the results from the product and not their own success, which is kind of sad. And that's kind of what happens sometimes with this, of why you kind of see these results. Now, some people might be giving this a review because they're saying, hey, it works. I sweat where I expect to sweat. My stomach is beating sweat, and I like that. And maybe that's why you bought the product, and maybe if that's what you want to buy the product and you admit that that's what you're doing it, hey, no problem. This is, you can see the targeting, especially this one, it's top selling. A lot of these products get targeted to women. I mean, you see there's some guy stuff here, but I think it's featuring it to me because it knows I'm a guy on this Amazon page. But you'll see a lot of things similar, like tight corsets, different tight things in your legs or like butt area, all sorts of things that are kind of along the same lines, same kind of similar products. I won't go through here, but you can go. I did a little bit of perusing through this company, like the reviews and the question and answer stuff, and I'm going to say some of the stuff was a little outrageous. I mean, the idea that you can burn toxins or you're burning belly fat there's no proof to that whatsoever. If you're burning toxins through sweating, I wouldn't try and focus on detoxing your body through profuse sweating on a daily basis. I mean, does that make sense to you guys that you'd want to force yourself to sweat so much? But can it get rid of water weight? Yes, temporarily. Yes, maybe that's for a short-term thing. You don't want to try and purge your body of water on a continual basis. Right? That's something you don't want to do. I'll get to that later. But let's just look at the actual cream itself. So this is meant to be used in conjunction with, but I'm assuming some people, since given the high seller ranking, a lot of people are just buying this just to put on as, again, an affordable little gimmick they might just try. So this actual Sweet Spot stick, I first saw this basically at the kind of come up at a gym I was at, where I had there was a guy and a girl who would come to the gym, and they would just be glowing sweat. And I knew it wasn't real sweat because it was kind of like gooey type of looking sweat, and they would get stuff all over the equipment, and just like this goo would get everywhere. You have to clean it off. I mean, they would clean it. But I first thought it was just like tanning lotion when they went to like the tanning salon, until I found out, no, it's something they're literally putting on their body. And I honestly thought, okay, I didn't think they actually believed that they thought they were sweating out stuff. I kind of thought they were just something they liked to put on. It sounds stupid, but I thought, or they wanted to just look like they were glowing, because I didn't think they actually believed this, but that's another story. This is based on the premise, like the last one was based on spot reduction. This is based on the idea that if you sweat a lot, that you will essentially burn more fat. And this is unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, I think unfortunately, I had a video about working hard. I think a lot of people are in this mindset that they want to work out that just makes them sweat. A workout isn't good unless it makes them sweat. And I totally disagree with that 100%, especially if you're talking about building muscle and body composition wise. It's okay to work yourself, obviously, but don't feel like you're trying to work up a sweat and beating sweat and that equals a better workout. I totally disagree with that. But that's the premise, right? And then the premise also is like, you'll burn more body fat by sweating more. You'll get rid of water weight, so that's why we want to get rid of these things. That's why we want to sweat. But what is this product? All it really is, guys, and some of you know this, some of you don't. Most people, this is kind of common knowledge, I think, to most people who are aware of what petroleum jelly does to your skin. But all this is petroleum jelly. That's the key ingredient here. Petroleum jelly, and they throw in some organic stuff to make it, I can't make any claims of what they're saying it does, but the key ingredient here is petroleum jelly. Okay, and they throw in some extra little stuff here. Petroleum jelly, otherwise known as commercially as Vaseline, is when you put Vaseline on your petroleum jelly on your skin, it essentially clogs your pores. So how this thing works, I have no doubt it makes you sweat more. How this works is it basically is clogging your pores so that your body cannot it can't regulate its body temperature. So if you start working out and your body wants to start sweating to regulate body temperature, it can't as well because the pores are essentially clogging up. They're kind of gummed up. So it kind of has to work harder. The body's kind of freaking out a little bit, like, okay, I gotta get this stuff out of me. So it starts kind of overheating and heating more. Does that mean you're burning belly fat? No, and then you shouldn't be trying to, as much as I can say you're sleeping when you're always burning belly fat. So you can always say that basically, because if you're sleeping, you're burning belly fat. Doing anything, you're burning belly fat. Does it make sense to you guys that you'd want to take away something, your body's natural ability to thermoregulate, just temperature? Does that make sense? That sounds like a good thing. Okay, so aside from that, the point is that's why it looks like you're sweating. It's really kind of like your body working overtime to sweat because it can't sweat, if that makes any sense, or can't sweat as well. So I saw videos online, people like rubbing on part of their body, and they would show you how it's really getting, the area is getting kind of agitated and a lot of sweat's coming off it. Not to mention, trying to get this stuff off, I can only imagine has to be difficult. And I think I saw some comments on that. But even if you really wanted to do that, like you said, I don't care, I just want to sweat more or whatever, you can just pick up some Vaseline, be a lot more affordable. So Vaseline is $9, okay, per pound of this, at least on Amazon. I'm sure you can get this cheaper, just like generic brand with a big tub of it, like at Costco or like a Sam's Club or whatever. Versus this is 6 ounces for $27. Okay, so if you really wanted to get this benefit, wouldn't have the cool packaging, which, believe it or not, side tangent, packaging, imaging helps that placebo effect. I've said a million times, even if you buy a supplement that's is literally just sugar pills, if it looks really good, that mental effect, that placebo effect does kind of pay off. So I say sometimes, is this a waste of money? No, because maybe you are getting that half that benefit is coming from that psychosomatic effect of just results in your body thinking it's working. But I won't go into the reviews. As I said, you can look at them on your own, but they make a lot of grandiose claims, and people make a lot of claims on here. I'm not trying to knock or poke fun at anybody on this thing. I'm just trying to show people that just kind of use your own common sense about this. I'm making this also to tell people, like, you don't focus on sweating so much. And okay, so here's what I was going to end with, actually, before I do this. Does this have a purpose? Would I ever use this to someone to like drop weight? People, and I think wrestlers and people have known the whole trick about putting Vaseline on your body for a long time. I saw some reviews that actually showed, like, it was like a boxer or somebody showing a review about their product and how they use it. Again, if I was going to use this, I would just go to Vaseline because it'd be cheaper. But if you had to drop water weight fairly quickly, then yeah, this type of thing and just anything that would help you sweat more would do that. However, everybody knows, for the most part, that's not a practice you really want to get in a habit of. So to think that there's people out there that are lathering themselves on this, granted, they're maybe taking a bath, they're taking a shower afterwards, and they're going to get this stuff off them. I just can't imagine trying to purge water weight on a continual basis. Not to mention, I mean, your body's going to get pretty efficient like pulling that stuff back in. So the point is, if you're going to do this short term, I guess, it's just not something that I was going to do long term, and I would think is going to be really a valid product to actually effectively get yourself, essentially lose weight for a long period of time, get yourself in better shape. I think there's some better options out there. I'm not trying to knock this product. If you want those benefits I said, and for whatever reason, maybe the convenience of the stick, you like that part too, rubbing it on yourself like that. I don't know. I'm not trying to knock it. I'm sure a lot of people will not like this information I'm saying. I just thought it kind of had to be said when I put this out there. Any questions or comments about this, let me know down below. Again, I meant no ill will from this video, but just putting out some information. If this is all helpful to you guys, let me know, and I'll look forward to I got some other products up here I think I'm going to be talking about in the near future too as well. So thanks again for watching.